Alright, now we have our cube built. We're going to deploy it, and then we're going to create some alternate hierarchies. So let's go back here. First thing we need to do is right click on the project itself and hit build. Build succeeded, as you can see down there. Now right click and hit deploy. Excellent, successful. Now right click on the cube itself and hit process. It's going to tell you what it's going to do here, and we're just going to hit run. And we're all set. Now it processed all the values and the data in the fact table. So let's first take a look at our stats dimension, make sure that worked out well. So if you double click, it kind of brings up a dimension structure browser, if you will. It shows you the structure. This is where you can add your hierarchies. We'll get to in a minute. And then the browser section is where you can actually kind of view your members and what it would look like in the cube, dimension by dimension. So it's using the stat parent ID hierarchy. And if all went well, it should have built the parent-child hierarchy, and it looks like it has. So you have offensive stats and defensive stats. And then all the children roll to all the offensive stat children roll to offensive stat parents, and etc. for defensive stats. Had we have not done that step where we did child parent, where we kind of did it on our own, this would all be one big flat dimension. They would none of these would be rolling. It would all be flat, which isn't what we wanted. So that's the easiest way to do it. And then let's say you changed one of these, all of a sudden you made players and a parent-child format. The easiest way to kind of redeploy with the new parent-child format would just be delete this and then run through the wizard and re-add it with your, and then make sure to check that checkbox about being parent-child. That's the simplest way. So we're good here. Um, we're not going to worry about any hierarchy zero. I think we're good as is there. However, one we can definitely do players and teams because they're very related. So let's say we wanted to see a hierarchy where we have teams and right now it's kind of flat. So we'll see here. Let's get the aliases in. It's all just flat alphabetical, not real pretty. So that would be kind of annoying. So let's make a hierarchy here, our own custom hierarchy, where we're going to roll players to team. We're actually going to roll teams to positions to players. It makes a lot of sense. So, for example, you'd have all the teams, and let's say we expand Philadelphia Eagles, and then we'd see all the positions, and then we could expand positions, and we could see all the players that roll to those positions. So let's do that. So first thing we need to do is add a table here, and we want to add teams. And as you can see, because we already have a key in our warehouse, a foreign and primary key joined here, team ID on team ID, it already puts it in there for you. Or you could actually, if it didn't exist in the warehouse, you could actually drag and do it yourself. All right, so first thing we want to do is create a new hierarchy, and just like it says here, to create a new hierarchy, drag a column or an attribute here. So we're going to drag team alias because we want the alias itself. We don't want the team ID. That would be very hard to read. All right, so now we have the team alias. Then we want to drag the position, and then we want to drag the player itself. All right, now we can rename this hierarchy. Call this player team hierarchy, or I'm getting slow response time here. Let's call it player, team, position. We can come up with a prettier name later. Alright, and now we need to process this. Click run. Succeeded. We're good to go. No errors. Close all the message windows. And let's go to our browser and reconnect. Now we should see our hierarchy in there. Now we should see exactly what we want. We see all of the teams. Now let's look at Arizona Cardinals. Now we see all the positions, and if you draw on that, you see all the Arizona Cardinal quarterbacks. Same with wide receivers, etc., etc. So that is one example of a alternate hierarchy that we've made. Pretty simple. So let's save this and redeploy this, or reprocess the whole cube here. Very slow response time. Well, that's it. I'm going to just right click and process this since it's being slow. I'm going to pause here. And we'll go on to the next lesson.